Hi, this is Denise Thoreau from the MSK Quilters Guild. I will be demoing the Creative Grids Pineapple Ruler, but prior to that, I thought it would be nice for everybody to see how I make my design board to enable me to map out that particular block, or any other block for that matter. If you've ever cut your block, brought it to your sewing machine, sewed it, and found out you already twisted it around, how frustrating is that? At least with the design board, you're less likely, not 100%, but less likely to turn things around. So I'm going to show you how to make this particular one, this 15 by 15 inch. These are all 3-inch squares. Then this is a mini design board that I've made to map out these tiny little blocks so that the big one is not necessary. Also, an option would be to use the back of the board to pin baste and glue baste your applique pieces. So that's what we'll be demoing today. Also, the little stand that I made, I will put in the instructions if you'd like to cut that out yourself. I'm not going to demo that, but it's easy enough to figure out once you have the pieces cut. And you know, it's duct tape and foam core. It's sort of like smoke and mirrors, but different. Here are the supplies you'll need for both methods, one using Elmer's glue, the other double-sided tape, and including Band-Aids because unfortunately I did need them. All right, after you've cut your design board foam core into the desired size, the first method we're going to show is the gluing with Elmer's glue to secure your batting to the board. I glued this a little bit, showing you that using my room key and some aluminum foil to protect my room key in case I want to use it again, is a little bit of glue all the way around, securing it. Doesn't have to be too precise since we'll be securing it with duct tape after. You cut your batting about the size or even a little less of the foam core, stretch it out, press it down, add a flat surface and a weight. Wait 2 hours, 24 hours, depending on the air quality in your home and how humid it is, and then you can do the other part. As you can see by my large piece of foam core, I've moved on to the 15 by 15 inch. I have put some double-sided tape on the one side. I'm going to put my batting on this side. If you can see, my cat has thought it was something for them to play with, so the batting and the fabric will cover a multitude of flaws. So here we go, sticking it down. People ask if what kind of batting to use. Whatever works as far as making things stick to it, and by the looks of the thread, your fabric will stick just fine to this. I have never used flannel, but I assume that if your threads and things stick to it, might work just fine. All right, so that's the one side. Then I'm going to put more tape and do the back side with the fabric, because this is going to be for a friend of mine. All of this will be encased in the duct tape, so you don't have to worry too much about covering everything. It'll all be secure with the duct tape. This is just to hold it down temporarily so it doesn't shift on you. And now we'll put the fabric. There we go. Just enough to hold it down. You'll see that some of the edges are not covered with fabric. I don't like that lump. Okay, fix that. On to the next step. Okay, the next step is marking off somewhat of a straight line so that you can have your duct tape look neat on your board. I mark off in 1 inch increment so that gives me a little bit of a frame. More than that, you're losing some of your board, but this will keep it straight. Hopefully, if my lines are straight. All right, so since this is a 15-inch square, we're going to say for demonstration, this will be the top, bottom, side, side. So we're going to start with the one side that is considered top and bottom, either one, and cut to size somewhat. So I put it down on the line I've drawn with the marker, flip it over, flip it to the back, and secure the fabric and the duct tape down all at one time. Okay, now we'll do the bottom. Again, trying to line it up as best you can. It is fabric after all. Same with this one. Case the fabric into the duct tape. All right, now we're going to do the two sides. So I cut it a little bit longer, about a one inch longer than the board, and notch out the corners. So it's up to you how big your notch you want your notch to be. I secure it down on the line and fold over the side that already has duct tape on. It's the way I've done it. Your way might be better, but this is my way. And now that's done, so we'll flip it over. Same process. Tuck your fabric in if it's sticking out a little bit. There's that. Next side, same story. Notched out. Put it on your line. Sides that have been already taped go down first. Flip it over. Encase your fabric in it. All right, so this is somewhat done. Does look rather pretty if I do say so myself. All right, so in the past, some of the duct tape has pulled away from the fabric. This is really pretty duct tape, but it doesn't want to stick. So while it looks really festive, it doesn't want to stay. So I did an additional frame in the back of just duct tape to hold it down, but even in the front it doesn't want to hold down, but it is darn cute. So I would say, in order to secure this down and make sure it doesn't move, I cut 4 more pieces of duct tape to size of the board, somewhat, a little bit in on either side, but just to encase that on all sides. So whatever duct tape you're going to use, it will hold down everything once you get it all secure. Duct tape tends to stick on itself really well. Unfortunately, sometimes it makes it difficult to work with, but at least we've got it encased and not going anywhere. And there you have it. Pretty on the back, pretty on the front, ready to go. Not going to move. All right, so that is the demo for the regular fabric covered design board. I also use the design boards that have the plain back, no fabric, as a place to glue baste my applique. Whether you want to do that or not, if you don't applique, you can do whatever you want to make it pretty. So I would put down my background fabric, my piece that's going to be appliqued on. I pin it down, and then I'll just dab a little bit of glue in the seam allowance, but not on the very edge, so that I can stitch that very edge. Once it's glued down, again, put it down, put a weight on it, let it dry. That will take a lot less time to dry, probably 20 minutes. And then you can hand stitch it and go and not worry about your piece moving or falling off. It's a little quicker than hand stitching the basting stitches on, but I've done a whole quilt using this Sue's glue. Works great. And that's it. Hope you have some boards in your future and enjoy the process. Thank you. As a final reminder, this design board was made by and designed by Lori Holt. The original design was made by her in 1996 for her students. My design board is an interpretation of her design. So I want to give full credit where credit is due. It's all Lori Holt. So if you want to check out her videos, you can go on to her YouTube video channel. It's Lori Holt, Holt. And if you do a Google search, you can do Lori Holt design boards, and there will be a couple of videos that pop up showing how she designed it and executes it. It's a little different than mine using the hot glue gun, but I prefer not to use the hot glue gun. Another note is that if you look at my original picture of the supplies needed, I did have a couple of Band-Aids. I managed to cut my finger when I was slicing open the foam core for the easel. I know it was a great idea, but I didn't think much of it when I was bleeding. So make sure you have a good blade, sharp blade, and some strength, because it does take a little strength. Lori has used an old rotary cutter to cut hers. I have not had good success with that. Even though I cut myself with the X-Acto blade, it still is easier and quicker for me to use the X-Acto, or better yet, have my husband do it. And also another note is that if you don't have enough foam core to make your little easel, if you choose to, you can always buy one. They sell these at Hobby Lobby in the art department. I don't think they're too expensive, but this one has a longer base and works just as well. So those are some options for you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you'll continue on and watch my pineapple ruler demo. Thank you very much for sticking through with this for all this time that I've talked on and on. But I hope that you'll go out and get some foam core, some pretty tape, duct tape, and make your own. They're very handy. Thank you.